This is an ERS RMP McNaught fuel totalizer, which is commonly used in our premium plant QEM built service modules across all sizes. Being the ERS RMP, it has the two inputs for the one display. So we'll have a total A and a total B inputs we need to enter into this display for it to work with the service trucks. So first of all, this is freshly pulled out of the box fuel meter. You can see it's just gone into sleep mode now. So if we turn that on, we'll have the program button here, or program enter. We have a select or an up button and a sort of write or a clear button. If we hold the program button for 7 seconds, it'll go into program mode, which takes you through to the multiple settings, sort of 1 through to 8 or 9, where we can enter in our different K factors and information we need to make it all work. So if you see here, we've got number 1 and we've got total A. So our total A, or our A input, will be our bulk diesel input. Our B input will be for our light vehicle diesel. So if you hit the up button, it'll take you through all the settings in number 1, which there'll be 4 different settings in here. We've got the decimals for the K factor itself, and then the K factor decimal place, and it'll take you back to number 1. So if we want to change the settings into this first one, if we go into, so the first one is unit, which is litres up the top, which is fine, which is what we want. So if we go to number 2, which is the decimal places for the K factor. Now the K factor we are using for the bulk diesel is 6.69, which is the most common sort of, which is the MX50, which is what we use in our service trucks. So to change this, if we push the program button, you see the program light flashing. Now being 6.69, it's to 2 decimal places. So if we push up, it changes it to 2, and we wanted it, and that's the setting we want to use. So if we hit program, that locks it in. You'll see the little program light change. So that setting's now locked in. So now if we go to the next setting, which is the K factor. So because we're using 6.69, we need to enter it in here. So if we hit the program button, now this is an important step. You need to make sure that 669 is at the very far right of this display. So if we go all the way across to here, we'll change that to, sorry, we've gone too far. 6 and 9. Okay, so 669 to be our K factor for your program. That locks it back in. So our bulk diesel K factor is 669. Now the decimal places for the K factor. So like I said just before, being 6.69 is 2 decimal places. So we want to change that. We hit the program button, 2 decimal places, program locks it in, and that's the first section for total A complete. Now if we go now to across, which should take us to 2, which is the flow rate for that first input as well. Go up, unit is litres, which is correct. 2.2 we don't need to change, default settings are correct. Decimal places, we want to change that to 2 as well. So we hit program, change that to 2, lock it into place. Number 3, so the K factor again. So the K factors need to be entered into the total and the flow rate section. So there's multiple spots where it needs to be put in. So if we want to change this, sorry, hit the program button. Now we want to go across to 6 and 9. Program locks it in. Decimal places is 2 as well. Program 2. Filter we don't need to change. Period we don't need to change. And now that's section 2 done. It's off to 3, so now I need to do the same, but for the total B. So this is for your light vehicle diesel inputs where we're entering our K factor for that. So if you already have the K factor that you've gotten from the pulsar unit itself, the most common, or a common sort of number used is 52.19. So in saying that, all the flow meters will be or can be slightly different. So make sure you remove the pulse cap and check your K factor on the meter, or the fuel meter, or the light vehicle and the bulk diesel meter that you're entering into the display. I'm just using these figures for an example. So we'll use 52.19. So number 3, total B. So this is where we'll enter pretty much the same as what the steps 1 and 2 are. So our K factor. So we do 5, 2, 1, 9, program, decimals 2. So that's total B done. So there's only 2 sections in there where you need to put the meters in, need to put the K factor and decimal places in. So if we go over to 4 now, which would be our flow rate for our secondary input. So again, K factors go in, 5, 2, 1 and 9. So now we go up to number 2, decimal places, 2. Now that's both our A and B, or bulk diesel and light vehicle diesel inputs entered into the meter. So that's for both the meters now. Now I'll go through, if we go up to number 5, we start going into other settings for the display itself. So the display settings, we'll quickly scroll through some of those. So that's a function that's just the total, to say that it totals the fuel, which you don't need to change. The light's just 100% backlit. Differential, which is correct. Now the flow meters, oh sorry, if we go back one, we actually need to change that differential to, so you need to change this to, so this will calculate, if you leave it on differential, it'll calculate the difference between the bulk and light vehicle. We want to change this to addition, like to add. So if you pump bulk diesel and then pump light vehicle diesel, it'll add the numbers together, or calculate the numbers together. So make sure you change that from differential to add. Bidirectional flow meters is correct. These settings can all stay as per the default, that takes us to the end of 5. If we go up to 6, so the power man, we don't really need to change anything in here, but I'll scroll through it quickly. It's just like the LCDs and battery modes and just some things about the meter itself. The flow meters, this is an important one, so number 7. So the flow meters we use, or for the MX50s and MX19s, they are both reed switches. So we need to change it. So the default setting is a coil. So we want to, that's just for signal A. So if we change this one, you want to put, if you keep scrolling up through, it'll come up as, so it's an NPN switch, NPN low pass, reed. We want to use a reed low pass switch, which is just like a bit of a fine filter on the switch, which just gives it a bit more of an accurate reading. So both will be the same. So we'll hit program to save that. Signal B, I want to change that to the same. Reed switch low pass, save that in there. Now we'll go to, so that finishes 7, and that pretty much is all the inputs we need to change. The rest are all the default settings are all fine. So if we go up to 8, I'll just quickly scroll through them. There's just a bunch of other settings in here. If you want to go through any of this sort of stuff to fine tune things, and if you want to read something slightly different, you can sort of change those things in there. And just note as well, to go from 8 to continue up through each setting, you need to come to the end of each, so you can't change the setting, it'll just count back down. You need to go to the very end of it, which is 8, before you can go to the next one, which is 9. So same again, number 9, there's no settings in there that you need to change. All the default settings are correct. Same as A, and then we'll be back to others you don't need to change, then we're back to the start again. So that's a quick sort of walkthrough on what you need to do to just enter the K factors for both bulk diesel and light vehicle diesel into our McNaught ERS RMP display, which is used on all of our service vehicles. Yeah, thank you.